What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. So I'm back with my segment, Ego's The Rundown. Now, if you're new to my channel, basically what it is I give you bits and pieces. There's so much going on in boxing all the time, and instead of making separate videos about each topic, I kind of shoot through it, give you some tidbits and bits and pieces, and basically the bullet points, a snapshot of what's going on. Again, it saves me some labor instead of making a separate video about each topic. So just try to take it all in, leave a comment, let me know what you guys think. And first I want to start with Carl Froch. He's injured. He returned to training in the UK and injured his elbow. He must have tweaked it or done something. So get well soon to Carl Froch. He was, as far as I'm hearing, he was in talks to make a fight with Chavez Jr. He even went on record saying that if he can't get that fight in Las Vegas, which is his dream, he says he wants to be able to, before he retires, fight in Vegas, and he wants to fight Carl Froch, and he wants to fight a guy like Chavez Jr. He says Chavez has the name, and it'll be a good fight for the fans. And he even said that he would consider retiring happily if he can't get that, if those wishes aren't met. So as far as I've heard, the negotiations were going good. It wasn't finalized, but they were moving along. So this is unfortunate. This is a fight I was looking forward to. Carl Froch Chavez Jr. He keeps speaking about retirement, so I don't know what's going to happen. Him being injured, they're saying he's probably not going to come back till the summer. So hopefully he does actually come back and the fight talks resume as soon as he's fully rested and healed up, because that's a fight I really want to see. And although he would have a good exit beating George Groves the second time and knocking him out and stuff, I still think he has more fight in him. So I would hate to see him retire. So for now, rest up, get well, Carl Froch. He is injured, so it's basically stagnated the fight with Chavez Jr. Also, speaking of hospitals and injuries, Bermane Stiverne has been admitted into the hospital following his fight with Deontay Wilder, and I guess the doctors is pretty standard, especially at heavyweight. You're taking big concussive shots. The doctors chose to admit Bermane Stiverne because he was dehydrated, severely dehydrated, so that they want to keep a watchful eye on him. So get well to Bermane Stiverne. I think he can bounce back. It just wasn't his night. He complained he wasn't able to get off his shots. Not to make excuses, because I picked Deontay Wilder, but I mean, obviously, if he was dehydrated, then that's gonna help with the sluggishness that he didn't look like the guy that fought Chris Arreola, but I think you have to credit some of that to what Deontay Wilder was doing correctly. Now I want to talk about some potential fights. Potential fight that they are talking about is James DeGALE versus Mel Kessler. Now, this is a good fight. This is especially for the UK in boxing in general. You got James DeGALE, who's quickly trying to make a name for himself. He's already called out the big fish, which is Carl Froch. Carl Froch hasn't really shown much interest in even wanting to fight him. So what better way to make your claim for a Carl Froch future fight than to fight a mutual opponent like Mikkel Kessler, a guy that's been in the ring with Carl Froch twice, and you know what I'm saying, has one win, one loss to Carl Froch. So I think that's a good. I think it's a good path. If ultimately James DeGALE wants to make his name, just like Carl Froch is suggesting, basically Carl Froch is in a position where he's already decorated, he's already proven more, and James is the new guy on the block. So at this point, he does have to get his brand up. He has to keep continuing on the path. He looks like a hell of a fighter, and I'm definitely keeping a watchful eye on him and his career. But I think Carl Froch, what he's saying is, I mean, I would like to see a Carl Froch and James DeGALE fight personally, but at this point, Carl Froch can put him on the back burner, and it makes perfect sense because he hasn't done anything. He lost to George Groves, you know what I'm saying? His wins haven't been so impressive where he gets to go to the top of the division or close to the top. You know what I mean? Andre Ward probably the top dog or whatnot. But he has to just keep it up, man. That's what boxing is. If you take a loss, you have to climb back up that ladder. If you're a new guy, you have to just earn your stripes and keep putting on impressive performances like Danny Garcia. A lot of people doubted Danny Garcia, after win after win after win. He's beating the guys you thought he couldn't beat, the Mirkons and the Matisses and stuff like that. And then some people joined on board and gave him credit. So I think DeGALE has to do that. You know what I mean? Just take a tough schedule. And I think Mikkel Kessler, he's a good fighter, comes to fight. And that'll be a good, bigger name fight for him to get people watching him and paying attention to what he's doing, especially if he beat him more impressively than Carl Froch. So I like that fight. Another fight that they are proposing, it's on the table, nothing signed. That's Josesito Lopez versus Andre Berto. Another good fight, interesting fight. I think both of these guys have had some career setbacks. Berto, he had the tested positive situation, so his rematch with Victor Ortiz was canceled. So that was a shot at redemption. He never got that. He lost that fight. He was undefeated before that. He was supposed to fight Shane Mosley, and then they had the tragedy with Haiti, so then that fight never materialized. Fast forward to the more current stuff with Andre Berto. He got roughed up and mauled by Robert Guerrero, and his eyes, both of them were fucked up and swollen. He showed a lot of heart in that fight and made it to the final bell and actually ended up hurting Robert Guerrero towards the stretch and looking better, but he was too slow to get off with his offense. He was like complaining to the ref and letting Robert Guerrero maul him, and he wasn't getting the calls that he wanted, and he just kept complaining. But then he dug deep in the second half. After that, he lost to Jesus Soto Caras, got stopped in the 12th round, and he had to show heart in that fight too because his shoulder was bad. Same thing with Josesito Lopez. He was down on the scorecard versus Victor Ortiz. He broke his jaw. That was a good win. Then he was feeling himself too much, went up in weight, and faced Canelo. It was just way too much. He bit off way too much more than he can chew. Canelo pieced him up. He ended up coming back down. He didn't look great against Mike Arnaudes. He fought Marcos Maidana, and he had some spots where he had success, but Maidana's tough, and you seem to hurt Maidana, and he gets better. Maidana ended up stopping him. He kind of complained that it was premature. So, I mean, I would consider both of these guys, especially at this point in their career, they're in the same realm, if you will. So, I'm okay with this fight. Berto versus Josesito Lopez. Casual fans will probably know the names of these guys based on they both fought Victor Ortiz. And you know what I'm saying? And the winner of this fight could fight Victor Ortiz as far as I'm concerned. You know what I mean? I think that'll be good. And it'll be a good little build-up. You have these guys fight. And they're talking about making it happen on NBC too. So it's really a win-win situation. If you don't like the fight, don't watch it. But if you do want to watch it, you don't have to have Showtime or HBO or anything. You could just watch it on free TV. Again, not finalized. It's just a fight they're talking about and trying to put together. Let me know what you guys think of this episode of The Rundown. Drop me a comment. Let me know what you guys think. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off.